सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्तगोचरन्तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। So we are looking at the 176th shloka. We finished it, where Manomaya continues. Tasman manah karanasya jantoho bandasya mokshasya cha va vidhane bandasya hetur malinam rajo gunaihi mokshasya hetur virajastamaskam. So manah asya jantoho karanam. For what? Tasmat. For all the hetus which are given. अस्य जंतोः बंधस्य कारणं बंधस्य मोक्षस्य च कारणं मनः एव. For all jantus, actually, for everyone, for all jivas. And bandhasya hetu malinam. Why? How would you say that the same manah is the cause for bandha as well as moksha? He says due to rajogunaihi malinam manah bandhasya hetu bhavati, and virajastamaskam manah mokshasya hetu bhavati. The gunas are different. Based on the predominance of the guna, a person has a particular type of behavior. And here you see the mind makes the person act based on the gunas, and when the rajoguna is predominant, when will rajoguna become predominant? Tamas is there, and that tamas has reduced. When that tamas has reduced and rajoguna has increased, then what will happen? It is you will not fall asleep and wake up and do the activity. Here though, when tamas, even when tamas is there, when rajoguna is more, that time it will cause bandha. And this is with the understand tamaha, real tamaha is ajnana. That is always there. Till moksha it is there. And moksha se hetu, when that tamas is gone, which is really ajnana, that is gone. And rajoguna anyway has reduced up to the extent of sustenance of the body. So in the end, Vyakyanakara said, Ato manasa ekatvapi guna bhedad viruddha dvaya hetutvam kala bhedena aviruddham iti bhavaha. So even if the mind is one, still due to difference in these gunas, viruddha dvaya hetutvam, how it can have opposing effects is because kala bhedena, due to bandha is at a different time and moksha is at a later time. After that, bandha does not come back again. So these are not together. 177th introduction says, moksha hetutaya manashuddhi katham sampadaniya iti shankayam uttaram aha viveketi. Moksha hetutaya manashuddhi. The hetu for moksha is jnana, but kramena also manashuddhi, because without chitta shuddhi, manashuddhi, jnana will not take place. How should that manashuddhi be accumulated? How should that manashuddhi be brought about? Iti shankayam, when that doubt is raised, that time the answer given is what? Viveka vairagya gunatireka chuddhattvamasadhya mano vimukti bhavatyato buddhimato mukshoho tabhyam dridabhyam bhavitavyam agre. So viveka vairagya gunatirekat shuddhatvam asadhya mano vimukti bhavatyato buddhimato mimukshos tabhyam dridabhyam bhavitavyam agre. Agre bhavitavyam. Tabhyam dridabhyam. What are these two? Vairagya and viveka. viveka and viveka driven vairagya. So viveka vairagya gunatirekat, due to excess of this viveka and vairagya. Everyone has some viveka because buddhi is there. If person uses buddhi, viveka is there. But the viveka that we are looking at is not once in a while. So it's not once in a while, and that viveka which should be continuous, vairagya also is not a little. It should be tivra vairagya, leading to mumukshutvam. Therefore, viveka vairagya gunatireka, that is the atireka. Viveka atireka and vairagya atireka, and these both are gunas. Due to these, what happens? Shuddhatvam. The person gets shuddhi, manashuddhi, and then having gotten that these two attributes, these two gunas, due to which one gets manashuddhi, shuddhatvam asadhya, manah vimukti bhavati. So bhavati ataha, mind, now this mind can be used to free oneself. That is the same mind which was earlier the cause for bondage, now it can become the cause for moksha. Ataha buddhimataha, only when this viveka vairagya leads to chitta shuddhi, only then jnana can take place. That mind will allow jnana to take place. Therefore, these should be accumulated first with effort. So agre bhavitavyam. Therefore, mumukshoho, ataha mumukshoho, for a mumukshu, tabhyam dridabhyam bhavitavyam agre. One should take efforts initially itself towards these. So for tabhyam dridabhyam, for more of intensity should be increased of vairagya, and continuity of viveka should also be increased in the beginning itself. Otherwise, this effort will have to continue even after Shravana. First of all, if Chitta Shuddhi is not there, Jnana won't take place. If Jnana takes place due to sufficient Chitta Shuddhi but not enough for Nishtha, then Nishtha won't take place. And one may even think that Jnana has done nothing, and one may start hunting for other mechanisms or other methodologies, other darshanas. So initially it is better to take more effort in Viveka Vairagya and Chitta Shuddhi thereby. Vivekascha Vairagyancha Viveka Vairagye Dvandva Iteretara Dvandva Samasa Te eva Gunau. These are gunas, both of these. Satphala Pradadharmau. So these are ones which lead to Satphala. They will give you Satphala. So the Pradadati, Prakarshena Dadati, they will lead to moksha. Those kind of dharmas these are. And Tayoho Atirekaha, that is Samasashti Tatpurusha. And what is Atireka? Atishayaha, excess of those. And what is the excess for Viveka and Vairagya? Both are not similar. I mean, both are not same, they are similar, but what is the difference there? Viveka Dardhyam. There should be firmness of Viveka, so firmness of Nityatvam should be there. And Vairagya Tivra Taratvam. So Vairagya should be Tivra, it should be intense Vairagya. And of course, both can be said to be, should be Viveka, you can't say intense Viveka. It should be clear Viveka. There should be clarity of Viveka and it should be Nitya. Similarly, Vairagya should be Tivra and it should be Nitya. It should be continuous, not once in a while. So, commonality would be Nityatvam, but the difference is one should be the Dardhya Viveka and Tivratara Vairagya. Tasmat Viveka Vairagya Gunatirekat. And due to excess of these, what happens? Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Ityevam Nishchaye Mithya Vastuni Kamanudaya Abrahmalokam Vairagyam Prakrishyate. Then what is this Vairagya going to drive you to? Viveka driven Vairagya, what will it lead to? Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Ityevam Nishchaye. This is the Viveka. Brahma Satyam Tad Vyatiriktam Sarvam Mithya. There is nothing real other than Brahmatma, which is my own Swarupa. I should not hanker after anything. This is how the resultant would be. So mithya, nischay mithya vastuni. What is mithya? Anything other than Brahmatma. Then what will happen? Mithya vastuni means unto anything other than myself, the real Swarupa of Brahmatma, Ishvara, Kamanudayat. Kama will go away, should go away really, and then Abrahmalokam Vairagyam Prakrushyate. Abrahmaloka is up to Brahmaloka, Vairagya Prakrushyate. Vairagya will manifest. That is the result of Viveka. So that's why Viveka driven Vairagya. No other Vairagya will work. Smashana Vairagya, somebody somebody died, some of the relatives or very close friend or whatever, or there was a fight among friends, oldest friend, best friend went away, spouse went away. All of these may lead to Vairagya, but that Vairagya is not long lasting. Forget long lasting, it is not Vairagya at all. After a while a person knows that it is just the manasthiti, but it is not Vairagya. Brahma satyam jaganmithya ityeva nischye mithya vastuni kamanudayat abrahmalokam vairagyam prakrushyate. Then kamanu upahate eva. When kamas are kamanu upahate eva, what happens? Shuddhi shabdartatva. That is shuddhi shabda. What is the meaning of shuddhi? Shuddhi is a resultant of this meaning. Vairagya, when Vairagya happens, Kama goes away, then Kama going away is Shuddhi. There is no other Shuddhi needed. Kama is the one which is tainting the mind, and once Kama goes away, then the desire for anything goes away. That itself is Shuddhi. That is the meaning of the word Shuddhi Shabdartatvat. Tad Ubhaya Guna Yuktam Manaha. Ubhaya Guna Yuktam means when both Viveka and Vairagya are there. That kind of mana which has Viveka and Vairagya, Shuddhatvam Nirmalatvam Asadhya Prapya, having attained Shuddhi, Vimukti. Vimukti is Bahirmukhatva Shunyataya Aidam Parena Brahma Samstam Atyantika Bandha Nivruttaye Hetur Bhavati. Then Vimukti Hetu Bhavati. It becomes Hetu for Vimukti. So there is no Hetu word there, but see Vimukti Bhavati means Vimukti Hetu Bhavati. Becomes the cause for Vimukti, for Moksha, Nitya Moksha. Vishesha is Nitya Moksha. And Brahma Samstam is, what is the Swarupa of Moksha? Brahma Samstiti. Being in the Swarupa as Brahma is Mukti. There is no other Mukti. That is Jivan Mukti, here and now. There is no Gati involved. After death there is no Gati involved. Fall of the body. One may consider that I'll go to some Loka, Vishnu Loka, Vaikuntha, Kailasa, all. None of these is there. Aidam Parena Brahma Samstam Atyantika Bandha Nivrutte Hetu Bhavati. This is that Brahma Samstam Atyantika Bandha Nivrutti. The bondage once gone will not come back. If Gati is involved, whatever has Gati involved, whatever is really attained, that will go away in time. Ataha Viveka Vairagyatireka Vishishta Manasaha Vimukti Hetutvat. So Ataha Viveka Vairagyatireka Vishishta Manasaha, that mind which is endowed with Viveka and Vairagya, excess of those, not just little bit of both, but excess of those, a good measure, thereby Manasaha Vimukti Hetutvat. It is that mind, since that mind is the cause, why is Vimukti Hetu Bhavati? Why Vimukti Bhavati? Manaha, because that kind of Vimukti Hetutvam is there for which kind of mana? Not mind is the cause for bondage as well as moksha, but bandha and moksha. But which kind of mind is the cause for moksha? Which is endowed, that mind which is endowed with excess of viveka and vairagya. Buddhimata is matupanta. So buddhi asya asti iti buddhiman. That is buddhimat. Pratipadikam buddhiman in pullinga tasya buddhimataha. upaya kushalasya ityartha. So one who has buddhi means what? Everyone has buddhi. So you say one who has buddhi, then everyone will be included, including animals, not only manushas. But what is the difference between people who have buddhi and who use buddhi? That is the buddhimat here. Buddhiman is one who uses his buddhi. Then one may say everyone uses buddhi. Yes, but to what goal? To what end? Here, upaya kushalya is one who wants his buddhi to be focused towards moksha continuously. So upaya kushalasya ityartha. Mukshoho moksha rupa phalechhavatah agre adau. Agre is adau, in the beginning itself. Tabhyam viveka vairagyam dridabhyam ashithilabhyam prakrishyamanaabhyam cha bhavitavyam. So what should one do? Till moksha one should continue to have viveka and vairagya. So one should initially itself focus bhavitavyam. One should engage for attainment of these dridha and dridabhyam. Upayachham prati phalechhayah karanatvat. Why should one do this initially? Because that is the means. Once upayachham prati phalechhaya karanatvat. Only when you know that you want moksha, mumukshu, for mumukshu this has to be done. It's a duty, kartavyam. Why? Because mumukshu is one who has moksha ichha. Mumukshu is sananta, ichharte san. So moksham ichhati, and moksha rupa phala ichhavata. That's why one who wants moksha means moksha is in the form of phala. So one who wants that phala, for that kind of a person, phala ichhayaha karanatvat. What is the karana? So phala ichhayaha upayachham prati karanatvat. Once you know that I want this phala, then you will inquire into what is the means to that phala. So it will become the phala ichha will become the karana for searching the means, and upayachham prati phalechhayaha karanatvat. Not only will you search, then there will be desire for that means also. मोक्षेच्छावान पुमान विवेक वैराग्ये आदौ प्रयत्नेन संपादयति चेत फलम अवर्जनीयम इति कथितं भवति. What is being said finally? It is being said that one who attains viveka and vairagya dridhatara, tivratara, then this person will definitely get phala, moksha phala. Phala is moksha, avarjaniyam. No one can stop him because he has the qualification. He has become an adhikari. An adhikari, chitta shuddhi is there, viveka vairagya is there, chitta shuddhi is there. Mind is not wandering elsewhere. The goal is clear. Purushartha nishchaya is there. Then what can stop him? Guru will be available. It is not that there is a shortage of gurus really. We think that there are no gurus like this. There was a time when there were gurus who were there who would teach. Guru in the sampradaya is one who imparts the knowledge as is said in the Shruti and in the Sampradaya. Those attributes the Sampradaya Acharya has. So Shrotriyatvam is there. Brahmanishtatvam may not be easy to find out whether it's there or not. We give benefit of doubt to all the Acharyas in the Sampradaya that they have some kind of a nishtha. And thereby there are differentiations created, the gradations in jnani, not in jnana. The nishtha of jnana, nishtha unto Brahma, that may not be complete. If it is complete, then up to such an extent it can go that the person may not be coming out of samadhi. If that happens, then who will teach? So there are gradations of jnanis. Based on the prarabdha, a person may engage in teaching, a person may become a recluse, stay in a cave or wherever. We may not even know that such people exist. Some may be there, they may be teaching in institutions also. Some may be living a regular life, jadavat lokam acharet. All these possibilities exist, and there may be people who are not jnanis themselves, but we give benefit of doubt only when they have studied in the sampradaya, because there is no scope for being misguided. That's the reason the two qualifications are given for a guru, for an acharya, which is for one to approach for moksha, for a mumukshu. And when chitta shuddhi is there, one gets shrotriya brahmanishta, definitely one will be free. One does not get brahmanishta because one does not know, then by shraddha shrotriyatvam will work. Even if the person thinks that this may not be a brahmanishta, still to the sampradaya one bows down, and then from shastra one gets the knowledge, because shrotriyatvam is there. So shrotriyatvam is easy to find out. But if you get a brahmanishta jnani and you think you have shraddha that the person is brahmanishta undoubtedly, but shrotriyatvam is not there, it is good to have such a person. You can be in close association, and you may have some mystical experiences also, but will they stay unless you yourself inquire? And that inquiry has to be from the Shruti, led from the Shruti, and that can come only from the person who can handle such apparent contradictions in the Shruti. Shruti tells one thing to one person, another to another, and one thing at one time, another at another time. One should be able to make the samanvaya and see aikya in everything that is being said in the Shruti. The goal is one. That is not easy to handle unless a person is a shrotriya. Therefore, just plain brahmanishta won't work. And although Shruti says both, if both are not available, for learning one should approach a shrotriya guru. Thereby, phalam avarjaniyam. If the person is an adhikari, no one can stop a person getting a guru, because guru will come about. The circumstances will lead, prarabdha, when the chitta shuddhi is sufficient, that will get oneself a person who will impart the jnana as per the Shruti. So therefore, adau prayatnena viveka vairagye sampadayati chet phalam avarjaniyam iti katitam bhavati. This is the idea here by 177. Mokshartham mano nirvishayam kartum vishebhya nivartayitum viveka vairagye hetu tva ratne yadi shila buddhi jayate va bhayam tatah samichinatva dhirnaiti nopadayatva dhirapi. Mokshartham manah nirvishayam kartum, to make the mind not hanker after objects. For what purpose? That withdrawal from objects is for the purpose of moksha. Otherwise it will become dull, and a person will be neither here nor there, neither laukika siddhi nor purushartha siddhi, as in neither the earlier three nor the last purushartha. That is useless. Better to be a laukika instead, because neither here nor there is it can lead to some really adverse things. But mokshartham manah nirvishayam kartum vishebhya nivartayitum viveka vairagya hetu uktva, that those viveka and vairagya which were mentioned as hetus, after mentioning them, ratne yadi shila buddhi jayate va bhayam tatah. So ratne, there is let's say there are some precious stones or diamonds, some precious stones. If shila buddhi jayate, meaning that these are just stones, you don't know the value of the ratna, and bhayam tatah, va bhayam tatah, or there is bhayah, you see something and you are scared of that. When either of this happens, when either you don't know the, if you know the value, let's say you are ratne, so that's a diamond, not that you don't know, but if you know that it is just a value given by people, so that which is called as shobhana adhyasa. The other day I mentioned gold. See, gold may be available in plenty elsewhere, it may be available little somewhere. So value, if the value is same, value for gold is same, still the price value will not be the same. It will be more and more expensive where it is available in lesser quantity. And then there is an exploitation in businesses. But the value is added by whom? The value is, there may be a particular value. A person who wants more, see, whenever a person sells something to another, that person has more value to the money than the gold that the person is selling. The person who is buying has more value for gold than the money. So who is right? Both cannot be right. Both cannot be right. If the gold really has the value that a person is paying, then why will the seller sell? You may say the seller is selling because he has bought at a lower price and is selling at a higher price. That is okay. So the value is for the money for him, but still that value which is associated, whether money or whatever, that gold that a seller is paying for, it has that much value, then why will the seller sell? He can make more. But it does not have that value because the value is different for a different person. That is what is called a Shobhana Adhyasa. The same thing one may like for food wise also. Food wise, a dish is kept in front of 3 people. All may not like it. One may like it, the other may not like it. One may be neutral, third one may be neutral. If you take another dish, there may be different behavior for the same 3 people, and whatever is the value associated with the Vishaya, with the food or with Ratna, that is based subjective. It is subjective based on a person's background. Whatever is the Vasana or Manasthiti, based on that there is value. That is called a Shobhana Adhyasa. You superimpose value where it does not really belong. Here, Ratne yadi Shila Buddhi Jayate. Once you know that all this value is superimposed on it, intrinsically there is nothing of value in the Vishaya. If tomorrow, let's say, gold production increases by, say, 100-fold, what will be the value of gold? So it will change, it will drop drastically. It's just a market. It's give and take market, but intrinsically gold does not have that value. Whether there is a shortfall of it, intrinsically says, of course, Shastra adds some value that gold has to be, it's auspicious, all that is there. But beyond that, everyone does not have the same value, because beyond that there is a Shobhana Adhyasa. Now, once you know that this intrinsic value does not exist, then Shila Buddhi yadi jayate, then if that Shila Buddhi means this is just a stone, we are giving it more value as an ornamentation. Once we know that, or someone tells you that, okay, this gold, let's say this gold, someone bring, or some stone, there are some stones, it is so beautiful, you like it as well, you would like to wear it around your finger or your neck, but someone tells you, no, this is cursed. What happens then? If you take it, something inauspicious may happen. If someone tells you, you are scared, you say, no, I don't want it. So bhayaha jayate, tataha bhayava jayate. Either of these things happen, then what will happen? You will automatically withdraw. So samichinatva dhihi na naiti na upadeyatva dhirapi. Then you will not have Shobhana Adhyasa. You will not think that this is samichinam. This is absolutely, amazing. I want this. That kind of value will not be there. Same Ratna, where earlier you had Shobhana Adhyasa, now that will go away when Shila Buddhi Jayate. When Bhayam Jayate, that time what will happen? You will not pick it up. You will not accept it. Even if someone gives you free, take it away. You don't have to pay the MRP, just take it away. Still you won't take it. You say, no, I don't want it because it's inauspicious. So Bhaya is there. So either of these should be there to withdraw. When either of these not should be there, when either of these are there, then one can easily withdraw from them. Therefore, iti vastu vicharavat bhayasyapi yataha bhayam tataha nivritti hetutvat teshu bhayam aha mana iti. So in the next shloka, a tactic is used to help you withdraw from this. Just as Vastu Vichara is useful, just as Brahma, Nitya, this Vichara is useful, in Viveka, you have to see how the other side is not right, how Mithya Vastu is not useful. Both Vichara should be done and both have value, both lead to the same goal. Dayaya, due to Daya, therefore he is creating Bhaya in the next shloka. And Dayaya, what is this Bhaya? It is not to scare you as in, can't you lose your sleep. This Bhaya, whenever something negative is done in the Shastra, that is to praise the opposite of that. Nahi nindanya, like nahi nindanya, here also Bhaya utpadana dwara, utpatti dwara, through bhayotpatti. Why bhayotpatti? Dayaya, due to compassion. Guru has compassion. He tells you, no, don't do that, something will happen. Is he telling the truth if you know it? I have never heard it. We can't do that. If Shraddha is there, he is doing for my good. That should be the Shraddha. If he is telling you something with a little, pinch of salt, so you can take it with a pinch of salt, because it may not be the truth. His commitment is not to tell you the truth. His commitment is to not lie, but his commitment is to be neutral to it. He will tell you something so that it is useful for you. So here, that is what Acharya is doing. Dayaya, and that is due to compassion towards the Jiva who is Baddha. And if you inquire into it, why will it be the final truth? Is because everything other than the final truth is Mithya. Therefore, when he is raising Bhaya also, it is towards Sadvastu, for you to move towards Sadvastu. Tebhyo nivartati, Bhaya utpada tebhyo nivartati, tebhyo vishebhya nivartati. So mano nama mahavyagraha vishayaranya bhumishu charatyatra na gacchantu sadhavo ye mumukshavaha. Ye mumukshavaha tatra na gacchantu. So charati atra vishayaranya bhumishu. So atra is eshu vishayaranya bhumishu. Vishayaranya, Vishaya eva aranyam. Vishaya, the objects are like this, or the forest of objects, or objects in the form of forest in the form of objects, and in that kind of a land, or those kind of lands. Bhumi, so forest lands, but forest lands are not made of trees. Simile is with what? This is like a Vishaya Aranya, poetically put as Vishaya Aranya. It's a jungle. This Vishaya is also a jungle. It's a dense forest. It's very difficult to come out of a forest. You don't see anything clearly. Direction, you lose direction in a dense forest. It's easy to do that. In Chandogya Upanishad it is said, a person is kidnapped and he is left in a dense forest with blindfolded. He does not have any sense of direction. Even if someone opens up his eyes, still directionless. He wouldn't know how to go back home. So that is the Vishaya Aranya here. And Mano Nama Mahavyagraha Atra Charati. So Eshu Manaha Charati. The mind Vishayeshu Charati Yatha Mahavyagraha Aranyeshu Charati. Just as a fierce tiger would be roaming around in forest or in forest lands, similarly mind is this forest, mind is this fierce tiger who would be going around this land of, like the forest land of Vishayas. The mind goes around in the Vishayas. Tat na gacchantu sadhaha ye mumukshavaha. So sadhu mumukshu, even in mumukshu he says sadhu mumukshu, one who is not mumukshu as in I want moksha also, one who wants moksha alone. So those who want only moksha, they should never go into Vishaya. Otherwise what will happen? Those are asadhu mumukshus. They are not. So asadhu mumukshus means they have not become mature mumukshus. They are not willing to give up Vishayas yet. So what happens? One cannot get both. They are contradictory. The means are contradictory, the phala is contradictory. How will you get it? So both are not possible. Therefore tatra or atra, tatra, both you can bring in tatra as a counterpart to that. Na gacchantu. Ye sadhu moksha should not go there at all. They should not engage in vishayas. This is finally one should be able to drop off everything. This is nyasa. Sannyasa is mentioned here. One should be able to withdraw from everything. To test the ground, you should keep on doing that. That's why upavasa ityadi. Especially what you like, you start giving up and you will know. First you give up what you don't like anyway, easy to drop. But what you like, if you try, you will know how the mind works. Vishayaranya bhumishu, vishya eva aranya bhumayaha. So forest lands are compared with vishayas. They are themselves are, vishayas themselves, objects are the forest lands. Anek anartha sankulatvat. Due to bringing many adversities. Due to bringing a lot of adversities, therefore Vishyans Teshu Gocharan also Shruti has said, Kathopanishad, Vishyans Teshu Gocharan. The mind which is engaged in all of this cannot lead to moksha. Therefore one has to withdraw. Tasu Mano Nama Mahavyagraha. Mahavyagra, who is called as Manaha, Manasanyaka. So what is Mano Nama? Manasanyaka, one who has this Manasanya. Manasanyaka Chandapundarikaha, a fierce tiger. Chandapundarika is a fierce tiger. Charati Sancharati. Always keeps on going around. You don't know when. You can't say that, okay, at this time this tiger won't come. The tiger can come at any time. So Sancharati Paranchikhani iti shrutehe. Why always goes around Vishayas? Because in the example, the tiger, you just like you don't know. The tiger does not maintain a timetable. Similarly, mind does not have such a timetable. Whenever the mind is awake, the indriyas are tuned outwards. Paranchikhani iti shrutehe. So in that thick forest, whenever the mind is active, whether in swapna or in jagrata avastha, the sense organs will be tuned outwards towards Vishayaranya bhumi. Paranchikhani iti shrutehe. Paranchikhani Vyatirana Swayambhu. The Kathopanishad said the Lord, when he created any being, any bhutas, that time he tuned the sense organs outward and as though destroyed. Why destroyed? Because Purushartha Siddhi can happen only when they are tuned inward. Only then there is a possibility of Chitta Shuddhi and thereby possibility of Jnana and thereby Purushartha Siddhi, which is moksha. And by making those tuned outward, why tuned outward? Not because he wants to punish you. He is being graceful. Ishvara is being graceful because you wanted that. We wanted particular objects. That is why we indulge in them on and on. And then at the moment of death, earlier janma, we have desired for particular objects, due to which, and all these are known only through, the objects which we desire are known only through the sense organs, all the 5 sense organs. Therefore they are tuned outward. They are not within, they are outside. This is how the person has thought, and I want this. Therefore a person is born with the indriyas focused outward, and this is true with everyone. Therefore everyone said, of course there may be a rare exception, but otherwise a person is not born meditative. The indriyas are tuned outward. Paranchikhani iti shrutehe vishay pravanata manasah swabhavah nimna bhumi gamanam iva jalasya. So what will happen? Vishay pravanata, the flow of mind, manasah, it is swabhava. Mind, when indriyas are tuned outward, mind will go out through those indriyas. Vedanta prakriya is that mind goes out through the indriyas, antakarana goes out, makes a vritti on the Vishaya, Vishayakara vritti, and then comes back. Once comes back in sense, wherever the Vishayakara vritti happens, whether outward or inward, the mind is, wherever the mind is, that's where the vritti will happen. If the mind has gone out, the vritti takes place there itself, and since Atma is common to the Vishaya as well as to the satta and spurti, which is there, which makes the cognition of object possible. That is common between the Vishaya as well as the subject, Sakshi, or the whoever is cognizing. So the cognizer and the cognized have the same satta and spurana, due to which the vritti takes place, and that shabda vishayakara vritti is lit up by the atma. Once it is lit up, that ajnana goes away, and then once it is lit up, then that phala vyapti happens. Vritti vyapti takes away the ajnana of the vishaya, and phala vyapti, by lighting up the vishaya, one knows that aham janami, aham ghatam janami. So why does that happen? Because even if you don't want to see an object, once you open the eyes, mind is awake, eyes are open, then whatever is there in the front will be cognized, because mind will go out. Once mind goes out, how it goes out and why does it go out, a simile is given. The reason mind keeps on going out towards Vishaya through the Indriyas is like the mind being at a higher place and Vishayas being at a lower place. Just like water will flow from the higher place to the lower place. Similarly, the swabhava, it is manasa swabhava, nimna bhumihi gamanam iva jalasya, nimna bhumi gamanam iva manasa api swabhava. Just like if you keep water at a higher ground, mountain water flows downwards towards the river and then towards samudra. Similar is this. Mind goes towards the objects in the same fashion. Tataha bandhaya vishayasaktam iti shrutehe jivasya mahan anartha sambhavati. Thereby what will happen is that tataha bandhaya vishayasaktam, this vishayasaktam manaha, the mind which has asakti towards vishaya, that is for bandha, that will result in bandha. Iti shrutehe jivasya mahan anartha sambhavati. What will happen? Mahan anartha. Mahan anartha is what? Being born as a human being whose entire goal, there is only one goal. As Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says, you have to attain moksha. There is nothing else to do. A person who says, I don't have time for Sandhya Vandana, I don't have time for puja, I don't have time to pursue moksha, is doing everything other than what he is born for, he or she is born for. So it is ridiculous. You have nothing else to do. So we say, no, I am too busy. What are you? Should be busy in moksha pursuit, being born as a human being. You are busy in everything except for that. So what will happen? Tata bandhaya. Bandhaya eva bhavati, na tu vimukte. Vimukte na bhavati. Jivasya mahan anartha sambhavati. That is the mahan anartha. Taduktam Gitasu. And in Gita what is being said? What is mahan anartha? Mokshartha siddhi does not happen. That itself is sufficient mahan anartha. But other effects are also there. Vishayas are binding, and binding in the sense that they can lead to any kind of janma. And that is said in the Gita. So we have seen this earlier a few classes back. Sangat sanjaya. So sangat sanjayate kama, kamat krodho vijayate. Krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti brahma, smriti brahmshat buddhinasha, buddhinashat pranashyati. Sequence is, so dhyayato vishayan pumsa, starts from there. Dhyayato vishayan pumsa sangasteshu upajayate. Attachment is born to vishaya, towards vishaya, but here sangat, due to this association, kamaha jayate, kama is born. Kamat krodha, we saw that if kama is fulfilled, lobha. If it is not fulfilled, then whoever is the, or whatever is the obstacle to in that gain or fulfilling the desire, krodha, towards that person or that thing. And then krodha abhijayate, krodha sammoha, delusion. Due to anger there is delusion, and sammohat smriti brahma. One cannot use smriti at all. One forgets the reason one is born for. And then smriti brahmshat buddhinasha. The viveka cannot work. Where from vairagya? Then buddhinashat pranashyati. One has a fall. Iti ataha ye sadhavaha satpurusha. Sadhu means satpurushaha, noble people. Mumukshavaha moksha kankshinaha, those who desire moksha. Te atra विषयारण्य भूमिषु न गच्छन्तु. Smagaman. Magaman is agaman and then mangi lung. That's why lung lakara and mangi lung, and there will be adagama will not be there. So magaman. Even in dirgha sandhi, magaman, the word will be magaman only, sandhi wise. Vishebhya mano. So one should not go. One should not go means one should not indulge in vishayas. Vishebhya manaha nivartayantu moksha iti abhipraya. One should withdraw from vishayas only for moksha, not to sit idle. Kaschid dhiraha pratyagatmanamaikshata avrutta chakshur amrutatvam icchan. This is in continuation with the earlier quotation. Paranchikhani vyatrinat swayambuhu tasmat parang pashyati nantaratman. Then Kaschid dhira pratyagatmanamaikshata avrutta chakshuhu amrutatvam icchan. Desiring icchan amrutatvam, mokshankangshi, becoming mokshakangshi. Avrutta chakshu, one who has withdrawn the sense organs. Pratyagatmanam aikshata, he saw means there is this phalam avarjaniyam, which was said earlier. Phalam avarjaniyam, he saw the pratyagatma, means he had anubhava, sakshatkara of pratyagatma, which is pratyagatma brahmabhinnam pratyagatmanam. Brahmabhinnam, that pratyagatma, inner self, the real self, which is free from these koshas, that he saw as Brahma. He saw as Brahma means he cognized, he understood that I am none of these koshas, therefore I am not limited, and Satchidananda is my Swarupa. There is no difference between Ishvara and me in Swarupa. Swarupa Bheda is not there, therefore there is, everything is Upadhikrita Bheda, thereby Pratyagatmanam Brahmabhinnam aikshata. He had sakshatkara. And there Bhashyakara also says that not only this somebody who saw is mentioned, but a person who follows the same process can be free here and now. Nahi asti avidya manasa atirikta iti uktam. In Shloka 171 it was said that there is no avidya separate from mana. Mana is the avidya because it is the manifest avidya. It is clear. Karya avidya is clear, which was said in 171, 171st Shloka. Ityuktam upapadayan tasya bandhakatvam vishadayati manaha prasuta ityadina chaturbhi. Through the next 4 shlokas, he is describing how is it that there is no other, he is elaborating further as to how there is no other avidya except for mana. Other than mana, there is no avidya. Manah prasute vishyan sheshan stulatmana sukshmataya chabhoktuhu sharira varna shramajati bhedan gunakriya hetu phalani nityam. Manah prasute vishyan asheshan vishayan manah eva prasute. The mind alone creates all these vishayas. Is it that some vishayas are created by mind and others are not created by the mind? No. Asheshan, all are created by the mind without exception. How and how does the for what purpose? Bhoktu, for a bhokta. Stulatmana sukshmatayacha. And are you saying that only in Swapna it is so? In Jagrata Avastha also. Therefore, Stulatmana, Stulatmana, not Manaha, Stulatmana sukshmatayacha, for the bhokta. So, bhoktuhu manaha. For a bhokta, bhoktu manaha. Bhoktu, one who considers oneself as a karta bhokta, for that kind of a jiva, what happens? Jivasya bhoktuhu manaha stulatmana sukshmataya cha asheshan visheshan prasute. And then sharira varnashrama jati bhedan. No, are these only vishayan, asheshan vishayan? No, other something else also it creates. So sharira varnashrama jati bhedan. All these vishayas are vishayan, ashesha vishayas. Ashesha means what? Not what we think as objects, but others which we may not have thought of as objects. Which are these? Shariras. Sharira is also so. We are tuned outwards from the Sharira, but if you start analyzing your own Sharira, Varnashrama Dharma, Jati Bheda, all of these are what? Manaha Prasute. Mana eva Prasute. It's not been created by anyone else. The Sharira is created by the mind. The association is also due to mind, avidya. Varnashrama Dharma is by the mind. Jati Bheda is also by the mind. And not only that, Gunakriya Hetu Phalani. Gunakriya Hetu Phalani. Guna, all those gunas, kriyas also, all the activities, all the dharmas, kriya, characteristics, guna, kriyas, all the kriyas, hetu. Hetu and phala. Then the sambandha also, if you do this, this will happen. That relation, if you do something, then something else will happen. You say it is mathematical. That's how it will happen. This is how the rules are. All these rules are created by the mind. There is no dependency whatsoever. You can just leave it to however it is. In Swapna also you think there is some relation. I did this, therefore this happened. When you wake up, you know that it has absolutely no relation. How can something you do give rise to something else in Swapna? Those rules are not valid in Jagrata Avastha. If you try to do something, let's say in Swapna you went somewhere and thereby you found some treasure. In Jagrata Avastha you do that, you will not find. You may not find. Rare case maybe, but we'll say that you did something. In Swapna you think that if I do this, something will happen. And that does happen in Swapna. That is not valid in Jagrata Avastha. Similarly, in Jagrata Avastha also, what you are doing results in something. This sambandha is not there. There is no hetu phala bhava at all. This is refuted in Mandukya Karika. Bhagavan Gaudapadacharya refutes any hetu phala bhava. There is no relation, there is no sequence whatsoever between anything. There is no karana karya bhava at all. He refutes all of that and says ajati, lands into ajati. Similarly, here it is said that the Anvaya will have all of this, and Nityam will go in Nityam Prasute. Continuously it is creating, not one-off. So here, Bhoktuhu Manaha Asheshan Vishayan Sharira Varnashrama Jati Bhedan Asheshan Visheshan Gunakriya Hetu Phalani Stulatmana Sukshmataya Cha Nityam Prasute. This is how the Anvaya would be. All of these are created by mind, Ashesha, without exception. Bhoktuhu Jivasya. Jiva who is Bhokta, Tasya Jagrata Avasthayam Stulatmana. In Jagrata Avastha, the gross objects are created. Tattad Devata Anugrahita Tattad Indriya Janyanubhava Vishayataya. And how it is created? Stulatmana means what? In the Jagrata Avastha, all these objects are gross objects, and these gross objects are cognized through Indriyas who are blessed by the presiding deities of each Indriya has a presiding deity. So they bless the sense organs, and thereby sense organs are able to cognize. Tattad Devata Anugrahita Tattad Indriya Janya Anubhava Vishayataya. You think that the Anubhava is due to the Indriyas generating this knowledge, and they are pramana, they are generating some cognition in the mind which is of the Vishayakara. That is Stulatmana. And then Swapnavasthayam, in the dream, Indriyanam Uparatehe, when these Indriyas in the Sharira Golokas are withdrawn, then Sukshmataya, in a subtle manner, Kevala Sakshi Vedyataya, only Sakshi, Kevala Sakshi Vedyataya cha. Because Sakshi is of the Manaha. There it is clear that mind is cognizing. We have Tadatmya Sambandha, but that Tadatmya Sambandha is not real, and Mithya Sambandha creates this Mithya Jnana that Aham Janami. Aham Janami is also Mithya. Aham Janami or Aham Jagrata Jiva, Swapna Jiva, all these are Mithya Jnanas. Asheshan Sarvan Vishayan, all the Vishayas. Asheshan is Sarvan, without exception. Bhogya Padarthan Manaha Prasute Utpadeti. Mana itself gives rise to all of these Vishayas in Swapna and Jagrata Avastha. Te Vishayaha Ke Ityakanshayam Aha. what are these vishayas you are talking about? Which are the objects? Sharira varnashrama jatayah. So not ghatapatadi only. So these are sharira varnashrama jatayah. All these tasam bhedaha prakaraha, and all the varieties among them, sharira. And this sharira need not be our own sharira. It can be someone else's sharira. It can be the sharira of the mountain. It can be the sharira of the ghata. So all the sharira, thereby you can bring in all vishya. Sharira varnashrama jatayah tasam bhedaha prakaraha tan devatiryang manushyadi sharirani. So he takes sharira as devatiryang manusya, but other vishayas, objects also can be included. So tiryang is this horizontal, means animals. Deva, devata sharira, animals, the body of the prani, prani sharira, and manushyadi. These are the shariras. And brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, shudra, rupa, varnan, the chatur varnas, brahmachari, grahastha, avasthana, prastha. So no, this is brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha. Sorry, there is a lot of spacing there. Brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha, and what? Sannyasa ashrama. All these ashramas. There are some typos there. Deva manushyadi sharirancha devatadi jatischa prasute. So what happens? Deva manushyadi shariras of up to these Indra ityadi, all of these which you can think of, and all the devatas, all the manusyas, and all the prani, vriksha, all these adipadani you can think in anything and everything. All the shariras which can be called as shariras. And then devatvadi, jati for devatvam. Devatvam is there, manushyatvam, pranitvam, all these jatis are also created by the mind. Mind alone creates. Shushuptyadu manasa abhave. When the mind is resolved in Shushupti, etesham bhedanam abhava. These bhedas do not exist anymore in Shushupti. Sarvam idam manasa kalpitam evati bhavaha. Therefore, through Anvaya Vyatirika, you know that all this is imagined by the mind. Evam guna kriya hetu phalani gunaha shabd. Evam means what? In this manner, similarly, these guna kriya hetu phalas are also created. Mana prasute, that is the idea here. Evam guna kriya hetu phalani. Gunaha, what are guna? Gunaha shabdadeya, shabda sparsha rupa rasa gandha. And kriya, what are kriyas? Utshepanadaya. So throwing something, all these, catching something, holding, grasping, all of these are kriyas, moving around, locomotive actions, all hetavaha. What are hetava? Hetus are tattat karya nimitto upadanani. Whatever is the cause for karya, the kriya hetus. So kriya hetu for, and phala, result of that kriya. What are these? Phala ghatadini. So the hetu is what? The cause, meaning the upadana karana also. Mrut here in the case of ghata, phala is ghata. The result is ghata. So karana, hetu means karana, and phala means karya. So tattat karyani. So karanani karyani etat sarvam mana eva nityam sada prasute. Continuously it keeps on bringing it some kind of dependency. It creates some things, and then guna, kriya, jati, all these bhedas, and then dependency among them. So you think that you have a rule book to work with this world. There is no rule book. You keep on working, there is more and more bondage. All these rules will lead you nowhere close to moksha. So one has to give this up. Na anya nimittam idam manasaha abhave kasya api abhavat. Nothing else, no other reason is needed. If this reason is clear, manasa abhave kasya api abhavat. When mind is not there, nothing is there. When mind is there, everything is there. If you understand this Anvaya Vyatireka, no other reasoning is needed. Look at the beauty of the statement. No, nothing else is needed. If you understand this, you should automatically lead yourself to nyasa from all the bhogas, and thereby become abhogi akarta. Then you can understand what is taught in the Shruti in its real sense, and one can remain in that and gain nishtha. Tadeva sarvasya mula karanam iti bhava. This is the mula vidya manifested as karya, and since mula karanam, I am saying that is the mula vidya, because in manifested manasa atirikta nahi asti avidya manaso atirikta. This is what is being elaborated as per the Vyakhyanakara. I'll just take 2 minutes. We started 5 minutes late. तदेव सर्वस्य मूलकारणम् इति भावः शरीरे इत्यत्र भिद्यन्ते इति भेदाः इति व्युत्पत्त्या कर्मधारय एव. And then sharira bheda, shariras themselves are bhedas that can also be taken via karmadharaya. Bhidyante iti bheda iti vyutpatya karmadharaya. So those which are divided are bhedas, and those who are divided are shariras also. Shariras are themselves bhedas that can also be taken. Shariranam bhedaha or sharira eva bhedaha. Both can be said, and a similar idea can be brought in. He is just giving it for grammatical completion possibility without changing meaning. So this is the 179th shloka. We'll see more in the next patha. Om sarva vedanta siddhanta gocharantam gocharam govindam paramanandam sadgurum pranatosmiham. Any questions? Okay, it is Purnima here today. Tomorrow is Prathama. We will not do Patha on Prathama. Since we are doing daily, we can afford to take a day off. In twice a week classes, it's difficult to follow restrictions. Prathama, there are other days also, but Prathama we will follow at least. We will follow one. Prathama will not have a class. Okay, so tomorrow we will not have a class. I'll send out a message as well. So no questions. Namaste.